My name is Ino Itsuki. I'm a first-year high school student. I'd like to say that I'm a typical high school boy from a normal family, but things have been a little down lately. My father's company went bankrupt just before I graduated from middle school. I somehow managed to go on to high school, but our finances are in dire straits. I had no choice but to give up on baseball, which I had been playing since middle school. At first, I was optimistic. We had gotten into debt, but my father quickly found a job and started working, and my mother was also working. I also worked part-time jobs day and night to pay off the debt. Life was tough, but the whole family was doing their best, and the hardships would only last for a while. That's what I thought, but eventually there were days when we had trouble even eating, and even I, a kid, could tell that things were getting serious. Our family was getting worse and worse, and my body was gradually getting thinner. But I couldn't ask anyone for help. All I could do was try to put on a smile in front of my classmates and act like nothing was wrong. The first person to notice my suffering was my childhood friend Miku Ono, who lived next door. Miku is 2 years older than me and goes to a smarter high school than me. She's caring, and when I was little I would follow Miku around the neighborhood to play. By the time I reached the 4th year of spring, we had grown somewhat distant, but she's still a reliable older sister. Then one day, Miku came to my house and gave me a lunchbox. This is all I can do, but please eat it if you like. Miku said this apologetically, and I couldn't help but cry. Miku continued to come by almost every day after that to give me a lunchbox. I later found out that it was Miku's homemade lunchbox, and when I heard that, I started crying again. I'm a man, but I'm so easily moved to tears. Miku's homemade lunchbox was so beautiful. Not only did it taste good, but I could feel her kind concern for me. Thanks to Miku's lunchbox, I was able to somehow survive the hardest times. I wanted to pay off my debts quickly and repay Miku. That was my wish, but that wish quickly disappeared. My father's debts kept growing and he reached his limit. He was chased by debt collectors and practically ran away in the middle of the night to the countryside, and his maternal relatives, who were his last hope, welcomed us warmly. They were farming but were short on labor. They would provide us with a place to live and food, so please work for them. We would consult with a lawyer we knew and somehow resolve the debt issue. My mother's older brother, Uncle Hirobu, was a lifesaver for our family. Later, with the help of a lawyer my uncle knew, we were somehow able to sort out the debt. Apparently, the consumer finance company my father had borrowed from was a bad one. Mr. Hirobu scolded my father, telling him that he was the breadwinner of the family and that he had to do his job properly. Since then, my father has changed his mind and is working hard every day. I am studying to get my high school equivalency certificate while helping out with the farming. My goal is to become someone like the lawyer who helped us in the future. After all that happened, the burden of debt was lifted and peaceful days have returned. The only regret I have is that I wasn't able to thank Miku. And that I wasn't able to tell her about the faint feelings I had for her. I'll go see Miku someday. I made up my mind to do so, but I couldn't muster the courage. Before I knew it, 10 years had passed. Then one day, something happened. Haruki, you've got a letter for you. Huh? For me? When I looked at the letter Uncle Hibu had given me, I saw a familiar name written on it. Mikasen? Athena had Miku's name written on it. I don't know how he got the address, but when I opened it, to my surprise, it was a wedding invitation with Miku's name written in the new father's column. Haruki, go tell her. Huh? But it's only the second half of the year, so go tell her. Give yourself a proper kick in the butt. Saying that, the uncle patted me on the back. That's right. I want to thank her for what she did back then. My faint feelings for her ended in an unexpected way. But as the old man said, it might be a good opportunity to kick her. I marked the attendance box and threw it in the mailbox that day. The day of the ceremony. I was quite nervous. The ceremony hall was quite large and there were many attendees. Unlike me, who ran away in the middle of the night after getting into debt, Miku-san had lived a decent life since then. As I was looking around in the corner of the venue, a white arm suddenly reached out from behind something and grabbed my suit. While I was still surprised, the white arm pulled me hard and dragged me into an empty room somewhere. When I looked at the owner of the arm's face, it was Miku-san, dressed in a beautiful wedding dress. Miku-san. It's been a while, Haruki-kun. Miku-san said this and her face twisted. I missed you. I was surprised and just stared blankly at Miku-san, who had tears in her eyes. Miku-san looked beautiful in her wedding dress, but her face was extremely gloomy and she was thin. The arm that was grabbing my suit was also skinny. Despite the beautiful dress, Miku's body was so thin that I could tell there was excess fabric. Even I, who am insensitive, could tell that she looked so strange that I forgot to say hello after such a long time and grabbed both of Miku's shoulders. Miku, what happened? Haruki, help me. And what Miku told me was unbelievable. Miku and her husband met at university. They got married when they graduated and decided to have a wedding when their work had settled down, but gradually, he started acting strangely. Her husband only gave her the bare minimum for living expenses, and when Miku offered to help, he said, "Are you after my money? This is against the rules," and beat her up. Her mother-in-law didn't stop her son's behavior, but instead took advantage of the situation and came to marry her. Her father-in-law accused Miku of sexual harassment and told everyone around her that her family wanted to get back at her, but apparently no one believed her because she was so well regarded. They said, "There's no way those people with the poverty laws would do something like that." My parents, my friends, none of them believe me. Quote. Tears welled up in Miku's eyes. I felt the blood in my body heat up when I heard that story. It was terrible. That was too terrible. You're the only one who told me that. Can't you get a divorce somehow? I tried to run away, but my husband caught me every time, and I had given up, but then I saw Haruki coming in through the window of the waiting room. And then I realized he was here. He said that and smiled a little. Even though he was thin, his smile hadn't changed at all. What can I do? What should I do? How can I save Miku? And then I had an idea. Miku, are you okay with ruining this wedding? Will you help me? Of course. Miku saved me. Now it's my turn. And so I gave Miku something. The wedding proceeded in Nagoya on the surface. Looking at the 3 rows of people, it seemed that most of them were related to the husband. They seemed to work for a major company, and there were many people in the 3 rows who were related to the company. I see. It certainly seems like the public opinion is good. The ceremony progressed, and it was time for Miku to leave to change her clothes. I left the venue just before Miku left. Miku came out of the venue and secretly handed me something. Is it there? It's perfect. I saw Miku off as she headed to her room, and checked the data on the spot. As Miku said, I confirmed that it was there and then I secretly moved to the sound space in the venue. The busy wedding venue staff disappeared from the sound space for a moment. I hurriedly prepared myself for that moment. What I gave Miku was my smartphone with the recording app installed. Where did the data in that recording app go, you damn wife? The once lively venue suddenly fell silent as Saturn suddenly rang out from the speakers. Come on, Mom, calm down. I'm sorry too. If I had known you were such a woman, I wouldn't have let you get married, even though you're my son's big sister. I'm sorry. It's okay, Mom. I'll educate you properly. This guy is very obedient. Just give him a little beating and he'll listen to you right away. Son, stop it. It would be terrible if you got hurt on that beautiful body. Saturn, vulgar voices, and unbelievable remarks echoed throughout the venue through the speakers. Saturn was the mother-in-law, and the vulgar voice was the father-in-law. The one making the unbelievable remarks was Miku's husband. And the 3 people who were the source of the voices looked blank, as if they didn't understand what was going on. Huh? So the 3 people in the row didn't understand what was going on either, but it seemed they were gradually starting to understand. Their expressions of suspicion gradually changed to ones of disbelief. You mean she was physically abusing her new father? Are you kidding me? Isn't that a crime? And this is not even a marriage? No, this is not even a marriage. That voice is the groom's father, right? Could it be that she's trying to lay a hand on his new father? The whispering gradually turned into a loud commotion, and only then did the groom's family come to their senses. No, that's not it. This isn't our voice. That's right. This is someone's plot. Hey, that guy in the sound system over there is a staff member. This is his doing. The groom's father was surprisingly observant. He spotted me and pointed at me. This is bad. I thought and tried to run away, but the next moment, it was Miku herself who burst into the venue and said that recording data was something I had secretly recorded earlier. Miku, I'm going to reveal everything you guys did to me. Miku was shy after being glared at by her husband, but she looked at me for a moment and said forcefully, "I'm divorcing you. And I'm going to sue you for violence against me." Everyone in this venue is a witness. I won't run away anymore. And I will never forgive you. Hiding her trembling body, Miku, who said that forcefully, was the reliable older sister next door that I knew well. What happened after that? Miku's divorce was finally finalized. I asked my uncle to introduce me to a skilled lawyer. Apparently, her ex-husband's misdeeds were exposed by his company and he no longer has a place at work, so he's on the verge of quitting. Apparently, his parents, who were living under the poverty law, were also disowned by their relatives after their true identities were discovered. Rumors are spreading in the neighborhood, and he seems to be feeling lonely. Miku was able to get a divorce, but the emotional scars are deep. Unable to bear seeing this, I made a proposal. Why don't you relax in the countryside where the air is fresh? Miku and her family agreed. Uncle welcomed Miku warmly, just as he had welcomed our family. After half a year had passed, Miku had fully recovered. Miku said, looking a little lonely, that she didn't want to go home, but I told her that there was a way for her to never have to go back. Is there such a way? Tell me, Haruki. Like marrying me? I'm just kidding. Are you kidding? It's not a joke. I like you. Miku, please date me with the intention of marrying me. I actually wanted to confess in a more cool way, but for some reason, I ended up confessing while kneeling down. Miku laughed out loud at me and said, "Of course. I hope we can continue to be friends." Quote. We were separated due to an unexpected turn of events, but we were able to meet again. I vowed that I would never let go of the hand of someone important to me again, so that we would never be separated again.